Social media is ruining your life. Here is why. Back in October, Facebook experienced an outage of their services and no one could access Instagram, WhatsApp, and obviously Facebook. My sister said how good it felt to finally take a break from scrolling an infinite pool of news. I got interested in how many people think the same way and decided to do a research where I asked students and teachers of Slider some questions about social media. I got 67 responses, which I'm very thankful for. One of the questions I asked was, how much time do you spend on social media? The results were pretty shocking. On a weekday, people would usually spend 2 hours on social media. On a weekend, 3 or even more than 3 hours. This leads me to the first problem: addiction. I myself used to spend hours watching videos or reading posts unconsciously. After this, I didn't remember anything I watched or read. Mark Zuckerberg tells his kids not to use Facebook because it can be addictive. Steve Jobs also didn't let his kids use an iPad for the same reason. Now I use social media for school communication only. Another question I asked was, when do you use social media? And usually people spend their time on social media between 4 p.m. and 9 p.m. after school or work. But this leads me to the second problem: concentration. Do you remember the time when we had table tennis in our school? I really liked playing it. Luckily, I have an equipment for playing table tennis near my house. Here's my story. When I play table tennis with my friend, he always acts like this. So he plays and then stops every 5 minutes to check for his phone. Then he pulls it back and says, "Let's continue." With social media, it can be really hard to concentrate on a big task, such as playing table tennis or doing homework, because you are always distracted by notifications. The third problem is the replacement of real-life communication with a virtual one. In my research, I asked people what they use social media for, and an incredible 90% of people chose that they use social media to chat with their friends. Of course, during pandemic or lockdown, it is the only way we can communicate with each other. But in the long term, it can damage your communication skills, because seeing a real person can help understand their feelings and emotions better, whereas text bubbles on social media don't really tell a lot of information. Communicating on social media can also affect your literacy and spelling because of the internet slang, such as letter homophones and emoticons. In my research, I asked people which social media they use, and the most popular social media platforms are Contact, YouTube, Telegram, and Discord. But this leads me to the next problem: privacy issue. Privacy issue is becoming more and more important today as giant tech corporation collects a lot of information, such as your name, age, phone number, email address, location, data, browsing history, etc. And what do they do with this data? Well, a lot of research and studies show that these corporations sell data to other companies so they can offer targeted ads to you. In conclusion, I want to challenge you. How much time would you spend without using social media? Thank you.